from Echo Base Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. Network. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens. I was once kidnapped by mimes, and they did unspeakable things to me. Huh? Get it? Never mind. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Echo Base Network. Nick has quit the channel, so it's just me now. It's going to be very lonely. Very, very lonely. I thought that might lure Nick in here. It's not. That was a bad joke, wasn't it? He is never quitting. Hey!
I was sitting there waiting for you to bring me in. I thought you were doing like an intro thing or something.
Well, I don't ever know if your ass is really here or not. So
yeah. Well, I will. I will. Things will be back to normal next Thursday, so you'll actually see me on camera. And
I can't bring you. I mean, I don't know how many times I've brought you in and like, hey. Hello?
Yeah. Right. And I was like on a work call or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Welcome to Echo Chamber Network, everybody, with Chef and Hick. We are here, guys.
What? Why are you doing that? What? Why? We just hey, and we know that they're watching for sure because they are obsessed. So hello, you guys. Hope that you're well. Anyways, guys, we got quite a bit to talk about. So you're going to be back to normal next week, right?
Yep.
I look forward to that. I know everybody misses seeing you on camera for sure, because it's been a long time as you've been gone. You probably forgot what the inside of your house looks like.
Man, I've not been home in over a month.
I know.
Yeah, and I still won't be home till Sunday because I'm detouring and going to Huntsville and Nashville this weekend. Going to see some live bands play, hang out with some friends.
Okay. Cool.
And then I'll be back home Sunday.
All right.
So yeah.
Well, guys, thank you very much for joining us tonight as we continue to go through all of the latest Star Wars news. But more than that, also other things in entertainment and pop culture. We'll be talking about some other things tonight rather than just Star Wars, but we're definitely going to hit the Star Wars news. Some big news-ish kind of happened today. It's kind of interesting. So we'll be bringing in our other people with us in just a moment. We want to say hello to Felix Quiros, who sent in a $9.99 super chat. He said, EBN, I hope you guys get a super nice live stream tonight. I will miss it. I'll be traveling to Fort Lauderdale at this time. Coach and Nick rock. We are, you are, Echo Based Network, Star Wars Forever. May the Force be with you. Thank you so much to our good friend Felix for sending in that big super chat. Alan
we were
Copeland.
me and Mike were actually just talking about Felix a little bit ago. Mike charged up one of his sabers that he hadn't touched in like months, and he was like, "Man, I'm still pretty good with the lightsaber. I could still take all y'all," but he was like, "I don't know if I could take Felix." And I was like, "Well,
Probably not.
he's doing lightsaber training classes at Icon now," and he's like, "Oh, okay." So
Yeah, for sure. Well, we want to also say hello to Alan Copeland, who's joining us tonight. We want to say hello to Angelina Serini here with us. Tex Caliber is also here. Hunter seems to be having a very good night. Good to see you, Hunter. He also gifted one Echo Base Network membership, so thank you very much, Hunter. And if you received that, please give Hunter a big thank you. Leia Rose is also here with us. Hello, Coach, Echo Base Network Coach, and Nick. So good to see you. Star Wars Mom is in the house. Spaceship Vampire is also with us. Papa Palpatine's Pizza Padawan. And we also have Ted's Nerd World. Jedi Master Lawrence with a $2 super chat. She says, long live the evil queen, down with Princess Tan. Baracus is here when movies were great. Talking about our pre-show. Thank you, Baracus. Good to see you, brother. We also have Lombardi 1969 here in the house. Let's see. Oh, Hunter's even liking our music. Look out. Look out. T-Rex is also here with us. Good to see you, T-Rex, my brother. Rob M., Binary Bard. I want a list of all the movies in that intro.
That'd be a long list.
That's a lot of movies. Jedi Master Lawrence here with us. I think I already said hello to you, Erica, but I did. But welcome back again, Erica. You are awesome. John Riley is here. Good to see you, John. Brogu is here. What's up, Brogu? Good to see you, man. Oh, he liked my joke. Thank you. I appreciate it. One person. Zombie Box Reviews is here. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Andrew Wall is also here. Unspeakable. Very funny. Very. Star Wars Mom gets it. That's right. Let's see. The beam car. All hail the legendary Tron. By the way, if you didn't notice that, we always want to remember our good friend Tron that passed away. Our pre-show, Nick and I have agreed, will now be always dedicated in his honor. So essentially, it is the legendary Tron's Echo Base Network pre-show, dedicated in remembrance of him. We love him very much, and we'll always miss him.
Yep.
Let's see. I think. Oh, speaking of, here he is, Team Finch Rider 2025.
Hey, there he is.
Mexican Iron Man here with us. Good to see you as well. John Graber, even short people, the space jockey here with us. Good to see you, sir. Glad you can make it as well. I didn't know they stacked crap that high. Let's see. Nathan Rodriguez with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Nathan. He says, hope Disney doesn't ruin Gal Gadot's career as they did to Gina Carano.
No, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. The Snow White movie is not going to hurt her at all. Now the other one, that is another story.
I'm with you. I think that we're getting out of the whole, like what happened with Gina Carano. I think we might start to be moving away from that a little bit.
What do you mean?
Might have something to do with the new president. I don't know. We're seeing a little shift in culture, a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We should get some updates on her trial this summer.
Yeah,
for sure this year.
Right.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Right. Yep. Name is here as well. He says, I think it would be an amazing redemption story if Darth Paws returned to YouTube as a member of the Echo Base Network. Well, we hope he's doing well. we no shade. I hope he's doing well. I really do. Let's see here. Graph web with, I mean, that how perfect could that be? You know,
Yeah.
hashtag cancel Disney Plus. Will you please talk about that?
Yeah, Coach. Cancel your Disney Plus. You still fence rider.
I wasn't meaning like that. Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, most consistent man on the interwebs.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That.
Graph web.
Everscale, what is going on, brother? Darth Maul's lower half is also here. I believe that's about. Oh, this guy. This funny guy with a big 1999 super chat. So heartening to see two men express their mutual undying love live on YouTube without fear of the white patriarchy. Coach Hart Nick.
Valiant.
Are you okay? Are you okay? What is wrong with you? Oh my gosh. Hunter, welcome aboard as our newest Padawan member. That is awesome, Hunter. You are the man. And we got a video coming up just for you, Hunter. That is awesome. Welcome to the EBN family. Mary Lanning is also here. Man, we are saying hello to a lot of people tonight. Rob writes, Gen X Pop Culture. Hey, Rob.
What's up,
Good
Rob?
to see you. Yes, sir. Oh, this guy's here. Oh, and that's the chat I highlight. This is going to be just to make fun of Coach Knight tonight. I can already tell. Donna Hergenrether is here. Good to see you. Donna, you are awesome as well. Oh, I'm fine, he says. I'm fine. I just wanted to force you to read that. Whatever, dude. Whatever. All right, everybody. So Green Lantern 345, our brother. Oh, Nick, can you get this man a Rebel Snowspeeder icon in our members area?
Oh,
can we work on that? Can you put that on your list, please, sir?
Yeah. As soon as I get back,
you guys stay on us. You stay on us, Green Lantern, and we're going to get that done for you, bro. We really, really are. Valiant Renegade with a member chat. Worth it to make Coach read that, even though he left out a keyword. Huh? Nah. Draconis, come, Coach. It's a good time to practice those comebacks. Yeah. Might as well do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah, everybody attack me. Roast Coach. Because that seems to be the theme lately. All right. Guys, thank you so much for all of your support and everything for your member chats and super chats. We want to play this for you. We are You Are Echo Base Network, and we hope that you enjoy this great Star Wars tribute video. Holy moly, and Valiant Renegade just gifted 20 Echo Base Network memberships. So, wow, that is amazing. Thank you so much to Valiant Renegade, and welcome aboard Hunter as our newest member. And Hunter also gifted an Echo Base Network membership as well. So it's 21 gifts, 1 join. That is awesome. Welcome aboard to every single one of our new members, and we want to play this video for you, and then we'll be right back and we will get this show started. We are You Are Echo Base Network. Welcome aboard. With all of that support, we got to throw this out there. Risman will be very proud of me because I've not made anything in Photoshop in a minute. There are 4 ways to support us here on the channel. You can become a channel member. You can join us over on our Patreon. You could obviously send us a very generous super chat. And most importantly, you can just be here. Thank you very much. There is no merch store.
And
all right. With that being said, it is time to bring everybody aboard. We got a packed house tonight. This is going to be a fun one. So up first, you already know. Here he is, right here, the man, Moff Risman. And to counterbalance him, we have the man with the bad leg.
Oh, no.
Knee pain, welcome aboard, my friend. And to counterbalance all of us, because he might be smarter than all of us. Well, maybe not Rissman. Maybe not knee pain. Definitely me and Nick. Sundowners has joined us tonight.
Hey,
Let's
what's
go. All right. Everybody doing okay?
Yeah.
Doing good.
I'm sitting here working on work tickets. While
I'm not talking to you, fool. You've been here. I'm talking to everybody else.
I thought I was just included with the whole group.
We don't care how you're doing. We don't care if you're ever back on camera either.
Next week, and I'll actually have my regular microphone back.
He's been saying that for 3 weeks now. Next week.
I give Nick's comment a 0 out of 10.
0 out of 10.
As a Star Wars comment.
Yes.
Yep.
But as a Nick comment, I'll give it a 7.
Yes.
All right.
7 out of 10 for sure.
That's what we're doing from now on. Everything that we rate is got a Star Wars content and a Disney Star Wars content, a non-Star. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah.
And Nick is going 0 by default. If George Lucas comes back and does an episode of a show, and it is the gold standard of show, Nick's giving it a 0.
No. If George comes back, I'll
don't
give
take it back because you said this
Star
last
Wars
week.
Rating.
You
if
said
Disney sells it and somebody else takes over.
Okay. All right. It's going to be more gold net harpy mask behind Sundowners. Hey, how's my mouth matching up, Rissman? Is this better? Hello, everybody.
You're fine now, but you were a little laggy at the beginning of the stream. We can
so
play
it's
it
working now. My mouth matches the audio.
Yes.
Yay! All right. Excellent. I need your help, knee pain. Fix my gear, man. Okay. All right. Let's just jump right into this, ladies and gentlemen. Up first, how many of you have been watching whatever this is? I'm just kidding. Landman has been renewed for season 2. Nick, is this good news?
Yes. I don't know if anybody else here on the panel has watched this show.
I'm watching it, but I put this in for you, Nick. But I watched it too. I've seen it.
God, it is so good. Freaking, I give the whole season 1 a 9 out of 10 for sure. The freaking God, what's his name? Oh crap,
Billy Bob.
Oh yeah, Billy Bob. No, I literally touched my screen and it made it full screen. I forgot that this laptop is a touch screen also. So it jacked me up for a second there. But Billy Bob's wife in this is literally my ex. Coach, if you watch this show, you will be
I don't need no more of that in my life.
Yeah. You'll be like, oh my gosh, that's crazy pants.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need I agree, name. Yeah, I don't need any of that in my life.
So good.
So does that not activate your PTSD or anything?
No, not at all.
You're able to look back and laugh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I know you didn't.
Coach has Disney Plus.
It's a 10 by default. It's a 10.
Yeah.
It's a 10.
It's not on Disney Plus either, Coach.
Shut up. God.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, exactly. My gosh. Does anybody not know what we're talking about? Let's just move on. Let's
keep going.
Yeah. All right. So this got me thinking. You know, I sent Rissman a message the other day. Has anybody watched anything lately that you really liked and nobody else is really talking about it?
I gave you my recommendation.
Like what have you guys seen lately that you thought it was pretty good? I'm glad I watched that.
Movie wise, Gorge.
Yeah.
On Apple TV Plus.
I thought it was pretty good.
It didn't stick the landing, but the rest of the 2/3 of the movie was good. I thought the ending was a little too cliche.
I knew nothing about the movie, so I went in blind, and so
me too.
Like I was very surprised by what kind of movie it was. And then I'm really enjoying Reacher season 3.
I still need to watch the last Reacher episode, but yeah. All right. Knee pain sundowners. Have you guys watched anything lately that you thought was good, worth it?
Can you hear me okay? I've had problems with my setup all week.
We hear you.
You still sound
good.
You're low, but you sound normal. This is you.
Okay.
I remember that. You remember that one stream you came on and you were using the wrong mic? That was hilarious, by the way. All right. Anyways, go ahead.
All right. I'll see what I can do about my audio. Sorry. Ever since the Mac OS update this week, it's just screwed a lot of things up on my computer.
Yeah, you sound fine.
Okay. So I have been working like 8 a.m. to like 10, 11. I have not really watched anything. Yeah, I've been working some hard hours. So I've been insanely busy. So I haven't really watched anything. I did watch part of The Gorge. Sorry, I have my issues with it. I didn't really like it that much. I didn't finish watching it, not because I was getting bored of it, because I was passing out from my long hours at work. So
right.
There were some interesting parts about the show. I like the concept. I like the idea. I was just nitpicking the details with the firearms and military references that I just couldn't get over.
Right. Okay. Sundowners?
I watched something, of course, anything Taylor Sheridan, I watch all of it. So, Landman, I was a big fan of the podcast that the show's based on. Christian Wallace had a podcast called Boomtown, and Taylor Sheridan writes the character story arc part of the show, but then Christian Wallace covers all the stuff around the oil and energy, the stuff that Taylor doesn't know about. So Landman was good, but my favorite thing I've watched lately was Day of the Jackal. I thought Eddie Redmayne was unbelievable. If you like the Bourne Identity Bond type stuff,
is that on HBO?
Peacock.
Okay.
Peacock original. It's a Peacock original.
And let me tell you, Rispin, if you've seen this, tell me if you agree or not. The character that she was in James Bond, the last Bond movie, and you think they're going to go kind of a woke direction of the series, and they do not. They stick the landing to where you're like, man, I can't wait to see if they do a season 2. It is that good of a show.
I think it got renewed. I'm almost positive it got renewed.
Yeah, it's the best thing I've seen in a year since Shogun.
Okay.
So I've watched Paradise recently. So I'll let Coach give. I know what Coach recommendation I just. Well, gave Coach,
because you know everything I watch, which is never very much.
But Paradise, and Matt Tuing was just mentioning it in the chat as well. Paradise is something that I saw here very recently. Dan Fogelman put it out. It's a Hulu original. It was not at all what I was expecting. It was quite excellent. It's some of the best television I've seen very recently. That got renewed as well. They're going to continue with it. I don't want to give anything away. It's another thing you should go in blind on, but I highly recommend Paradise. Very well done.
So, no one here has said anything about Daredevil. Let me say first, I have not watched the new one. I am actually going back and watching the 3 seasons on my Disney Plus account. I'm rewatching because I never finished the series. I watched the first season years ago. I went back to the very beginning and started it over. I'm at the end of season 2 now, so I do plan on continuing through that. Now, I'll say for people who watch the original series on Netflix, it's a big drop off from season 1 to season 2. Season 1 was really good, I thought. Season 2, it's like Matt and Foggy which Daredevil and his best friend, they're heterosexual best friends, and they break up every episode. It's really getting old.
Yeah.
Like, it's really getting... I mean, me and Nick ain't fought this much, and we've known each other since we were 12.
Yeah.
Okay? This is crazy. And anyways, so with that being said, I had some free time. I called my advisor. Come here, advisor. And I asked him, look, I need something to watch. because I want to binge. That's my personality. Don't give me one episode a week. I struggle with that. I lose interest. It has to be really, really good to maintain my interest from week to week. So Rissman said I needed to go watch The Pit on HBO Max. And I did. And I'm caught up. 10 episodes. I heard
stuff about that too.
Dude, it is so good. And I don't really watch the hospital, ER, emergency room. I really liked House. House MD was one of my you know what, Nick? That's the comedy that was the biggest appeal to me.
Oh, okay.
House.
Yeah, my parents watched
that.
It
was freaking hilarious, man. That's my kind of comedy. But anyways, The Pit has been such a pleasure to watch. When this show ends tonight, I'm going into the living room and I'm watching tonight's episode because I'm caught up and it drops like now. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's Noah Wiley's in it. It's sort of an unofficial additional season of ER. As a matter of fact, there was a lawsuit brought against them saying you don't have the rights to do this and you did it anyway. And they said, well, we're not calling it ER. It's not really ER. And I guess it finally it was found in their favor for them to continue. But it's a 15-episode jobby, and it's kind of like 24. Each episode takes place in real time. It's an hour shift of. It's a teaching sort of hospital. Noah Wiley is the head of this, and it's just about the cases that come in and how the students handle it. It's not for everyone. Again, there's some language, there's a little bit of blood. I mean, it's a hospital thing, right? So if hospital things are not your thing, then I wouldn't go for this.
It's not like overly, with the language and everything. It's those moments are well placed, I think. I've really enjoyed it. I have been a fan of Noah Wiley since I watched the made-for-TV movie Pirates of Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Oh, I love that movie.
Dude, don't even do that. I like that movie way more than you, so don't even do that.
I mean, I really like it, but I'm in IT, so
don't matter.
Yeah,
is that the one where Anthony Michael Hall played Bill Gates?
Yes, it is.
Yes,
and that movie has a phenomenal soundtrack.
Yeah,
that is the first time I ever heard the song "Question" by the Moody Blues.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned me on. Not like that, guys. Chill out. Okay. Scott Westbrook has gifted 5 EchoBase Network memberships. Scott, we appreciate you. That is 26 new members. So all the haters, think about that. Donna Hergenrether here, member, 35 long months. I have been enjoying House of David. Right up your alley, Coach. As always, hearts. Love you, Donna. I watched the first episode of House of David. I get the appeal. I just have not continued it. John Graber has made me agree to continue the series. He swears that it is amazing and great, and it's awesome. I will eventually get around to doing that. But oh gosh. Chill out, Broku. All right. So a lot of people have been nervous about what's going to happen with James Bond. I don't know how much this news means anything. I'm going to let you guys speak on this, but you see the Deadline article here. James Bond will remain British and male under Amazon's management of the character. So, guys, does that make us feel any better going forward about James Bond? Does this put the fears to rest, or does this mean nothing?
It means nothing to me. I think it's a step in the right direction. At least they're making that announcement. But with them, you never know. They could be like, "Oh, this is a male," and then give us like a trans female or something. This day and age, you don't know. But it is promising that they did at least make the announcement that James Bond will remain British and male, and that's the way it should be.
Draconis, notice how the word "white" is suspiciously absent.
I was actually just getting ready to say that. I was literally just getting ready to say that right when Coach highlighted that comment.
And he's right. Yeah. He's right. You could be British and purple. You don't have to be white. You know what I mean? So, oh gosh, T-Rex. I don't know. Hey, you never know. You never know. But is this a step in the right direction? I don't know.
Well,
what say you, Richmond?
I guess it.
I'm sorry, knee pain. You got it.
I was gonna say, I guess it could, because I guess if they say it's going to be male, then it omits the possibility of Rachel Zegler being cast as James Bond. So
I don't know.
Yeah,
I hear she's a man on Thursdays. I don't know.
And I was going the opposite direction. I was like, well, at least this is a role Pedro Pascal won't get, right? I mean, we can change them out in every other team.
It's not going to be Pedro.
I don't think he has time to do anything else.
It's not going to be Pedro. It's not going to be The Rock. We're good.
All kidding aside, I think I saw Pierce Brosnan make a comment on this, and it might have been slightly before this article came out, just basically kind of saying the same thing in a slightly different way, just like, hey, you know, I hope that now that it's passing over to Amazon, you know, they treat it with the respect and dignity the character deserves, et cetera, and so on. I mean, if they wanted to tell an older James Bond story or whatever, would we be I'm not saying they would ever do this, but would we be Pierce Brosnan could certainly play James Bond again, right? There's nothing that says he couldn't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd be down.
I would say give the man a chance. He only made one good one.
Yeah. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll definitely hire some new actor. But for me, James Bond's kind of like a period piece also. So whoever they get, I hope they go back to the Cold War era and do it in that timeline, in that era of
where the Soviets are bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a tough one on that, right? Because you could argue that we already have a cachet of James Bond movies that already are set in that era, because that's just what it's always been. That's why I really struggle, not so much who and how and why they might cast a particular actor. It's just, how does James Bond fit today? And what I don't want is, I don't want broken down Bond. Can we just not do a Bond is all broke? He's old, he's broken down, he's cranky.
Yeah,
you know, he needs
one more
woman to come save the day.
He's gonna pass it on to someone else. Can we just not do that?
You mean like Luke Skywalker in the
exactly.
trilogy? like Indiana Jones, like Luke Skywalker, like Obi-Wan Kenobi, like fill in the blank of the broke down characters that they feel obligated to sort of treat in a particular way, right, before they move on. Let's not, if you're going to do a James Bond thing, do a James Bond thing. That's my opinion.
Knee pain, can you make that comment again real quick? I wasn't ready.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Please, one more time, please.
At least that'll make him like Luke Skywalker in the sequel trilogy. And...
Thank you. That's all I wanted. Yes, that's still painful. Definitely. There's definitely some parallels between James Bond right now and Star Wars. They're both unhealthy franchises.
Yeah.
But I would argue that James Bond is not an unhealthy franchise because of the product that they've delivered. It's just losing its appeal as time goes on. You know, where are you going to go? They better freaking nail it. If they have a bad casting and have a bad movie, it could be over for James Bond.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, the brand is not that strong. Am I wrong?
No, because I think the Daniel Craig movies, if I'm not right, or if I'm not mistaken, I believe each movie did a little worse than the previous ones, didn't they, Risman?
They all did very well, but yes, there has been diminishing returns, and you would argue the last couple of ones, the last one, they killed James Bond off, right? And then at the end they said he's going to return anyway, and the movie wasn't good, and I'm like, yeah. So I think there's a lot of mixed feelings about the Daniel Craig era of James Bond. It certainly wasn't my favorite, and that's why I agree with Coach. You know, whatever they do here next, they're at that crucible moment, right, for this franchise theatrically, because other people like Mission Impossible and some of these other some other people out Bonded Bond. Right, it's no longer, you know what I mean? It used to be Bond was the thing, and now you've got so many other things that approximate Bond. You know, there's a movie coming out this weekend that I'm going to go see that's got that's got Pierce Brosnan in it. It's called Black Bag. It's it's kind of Bond-like, right? It's a spy type thing, right? So this is a genre now, and I don't think James Bond is the leader in its own genre, and I don't think it has been that way for a minute.
Does it have to be James Bond?
I'll be right back.
Like I am okay with a new spy thriller series. For instance, The Bourne Identity was terrific. The whole series. I mean, I would argue that series is better than the Bond that we've gotten in the last 20 years. So does it have to be James Bond? Our friend Brogu asked the question here, would you guys have a problem if they had made a young, I can never say his first name, Idris Elba, James Bond? He's a great actor. I agree he's a great actor. I have mixed feelings about naming him James Bond, but if he was the lead in a spy thriller from the same people, if he's 009 or whatever, I would be perfectly fine with that. It would probably be really good. So, but making him James Bond, I don't know how I feel about that. That's
I do.
Well, shoot.
James Bond's not black.
I mean, you're right.
Period. Yeah. Like he's not. I mean, we always have to kind of tiptoe around this crap, like with the Snape stuff that just happened. What if you were to take Black Panther and make it Tom Cruise? We would never do that because Black Panther is not white. So you've got characters that, if you're going to stay, if you're going to say we're going to stay faithful to Ian Fleming and who Bond is, he is white and he's British and he's male. So the expectation is you could tell a brand new story. You could do crossovers where you bring in a Ethan Hunt in a movie with Bond or John Wick or Jason Bourne. You could do all kinds of things to do crossovers. But at the end of the day,
sure.
He drinks liquor. He wears good suits. He drives good cars. He has beautiful women around him. And he's white and he's British and he's male. Those are things you don't change.
Whew, you had me nervous for a second. I thought you was about to say he drinks good liquor. He's got a fancy boat because he's white. I
mean, if they cast whoever, let's say they cast Henry Cavill as the next Bond, and they're filming it. We get some pictures from the set or whatever, but then they do a trailer or teaser, and all the teaser is Henry Cavill in the tux with a drink in his hand. And he turns around and Sydney Sweeney or whoever turns around and looks at him and he says, Bond, James Bond. That's all you need to show in the teaser and people will go see it.
Yeah, right.
Because they're like, that is James Bond.
I'm with you.
And you know who they should have write it? They should have Tony Gilroy write it. That's why The Bourne Identity was so good, right? He knows how to write this kind of stuff. I'm not sure I'm sold on a Nolan directing it. Maybe if so, I would pick, I don't know that I would pick not Christopher Nolan, I would pick the other Nolan, right? The one who's done TV if I was going to pick a Nolan. But it has to have a good writer. And I agree with Sundowners. It needs to be faithful to who James Bond always has been. And they need to fit that into whatever time period they're telling the story appropriately, or it's not going to feel authentic.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, and there's lots of writers who could tell it. You were talking about Pierce Brosnan. He's got a series coming out called Mobland that looks really good.
Yes.
It's got a good cast and looks really, really good. But I mean, this is not complicated when you deal with IPs, right? Whether it's Pirates of the Caribbean, James Bond, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars. These people, I think that have traditionally, not that this is going to happen with this story, but with Bond, but like traditionally these people get in these writers' rooms and they're not even fans. They don't even understand the legacy of the stories. They're writing based on their own life experiences and they're bringing in their biases. And it's a question of incompetence. Matt, you mentioned the last Bond movie. The biggest issue of the last Bond movie was it was a horrible story.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the biggest issue was whoever wrote it didn't really truly understand Bond. And they really just destroyed the character. So, at the end of the day, we talk a lot about wokeness and bias and all these things that have happened with all these stories. But the number one thing is competency. Competence. If it's good, people are going to watch it. And if it's not, they're not. And that's the biggest issue that we've been dealing with all these stories is bad writers.
Well, it's competency and it's respect for your audience, right? I think part of the reason why a lot of these things don't resonate well with the audience with the audience that shows up is because it doesn't respect the audience. It doesn't. You know what I mean? It's not written in the right way to engage and to make that audience present and really care about what they're watching. And in many cases, it pisses the audience off. And that's why I say the writing and everything and the truth about the character is important. And if they can't do that, then make a Spectre spin-off series. Put it on Amazon Prime, right? I don't know. They keep talking about they want to do the money, something about Moneypenny. Okay, fine. But if you're going to do these little spin-off things or whatever, then do that and don't do something on the big screen. But the problem is they want that money back. Right. They want that money they paid the Broccoli's off back, which means they have to put something on the big screen.
Right. Yep. I'm with you. All right. So let's keep this thing moving. Speaking of shows and faith in entertainment and how we just know that things are going to be getting better, coming very soon to a streaming platform near and dear to your heart. We have Oswald the Lucky Rabbit. Showrunner Jon Favreau coming to Disney Plus. You probably recognize Oswald the Lucky Rabbit here. He was the Disney created character that was the precursor to Mickey Mouse. In 1928, Oswald leaves Disney, picked up by another company, and that is when Walt created Mickey. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit was in 27 original cartoons. Why on earth are they doing this 100 years later?
And why is Favreau doing it?
Yes.
That's why I put this in.
What are we doing?
They must have gave him a lot of money. I mean, it's not like Favreau couldn't pick up 100 other great projects that have nothing to do with Disney.
Are we just trying to create a streak for not charting on Nielsen?
And this is coming right after they basically said they're not doing any more, original animated content for Disney Plus.
Yeah, live.
I put this in because it's just so weird, and also because just to quell anybody who thinks that Favreau is coming in to do anything at Lucasfilm or is otherwise becoming anointed to do whatever we think he might do there, he's making a cartoon, right? He doesn't want, you know what I mean? I have to assume it's because it's what he wants to do. I just found this story very peculiar.
Oh my goodness, man! I don't even know what I really wish Nick was not on a work call right now. We are missing his voice on this one.
Favreau, I like him. I like his work. I think that what I would love to see, biggest slap in the face, because everyone thinks he's going to take over Star Wars. I would love for him to go quiet for a couple of years and come out that he took over the Star Trek franchise and just destroy it with great Star Trek movies. Just get him away from Disney. I love his work. I just think Disney just holds him back from what he's capable of.
Yeah, they got him doing Oswald.
Yeah.
The Lucky Rabbit.
And this article doesn't include zero quotes from Favreau. It includes no here's why and what and how. It just merely says matter-of-factly that he is, I think it says what, he's writing it. And what does it say? He says Favreau's going to write it, and does it say he's going to produce it as well? And so maybe there's money in it that way. I don't know. I just found it. I just found it to be very, very peculiar.
Is this going to be animated?
Right.
Yeah.
So they trying to tap into the Bluey audience?
Don't know. I mean, for all we know, this could be Winnie the Pooh runs amok again. Like I
don't understand how you would put a mouse animated when you have Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse? Doesn't that mess your brand? I mean, well, their brand sucks anyway, but why would you do another mouse that came before Mickey? I don't.
Oh, it's a rabbit.
Okay, yeah, a rabbit. So it's still confusing because it looks
like
I don't know. It's
I mean, he's a Disney legend, and T-Rex is correct. T-Rex in the chat is reminding what I often remind us. He is not now, nor has he ever been, a Disney employee. Everything he's done for the company, inclusive of becoming a Disney legend, has been him on contract. Either, he's had his own company for quite some time. He's very successful with that. I'm sure that's how he's producing this, why he's doing it, and what's the, all the weirdness behind it.
Yeah.
Haven't any idea. Idea.
Yep, I got you. Well, guys, we're going to keep rolling on. I might come back to that one just to get Nick's opinion. But Daredevil Born Again launches with 7.5 million views on Disney+. So that seems to be going pretty well. I've not heard a whole lot of negativity other than a friend of mine shot me a message today saying that he thought that the first 3 episodes are kind of slow. He said it's kind of a slow burn, but it's definitely like he can see where it's picking up, and he feels like that is strategic. He wasn't saying it critically. He just, he's enjoying the show. It's a little slow right now, but he thinks it's building tension, is what he said. So, anyways, all that being said, I think, I'll be tuning into this at some point very soon. We want to say hello to Phil McCracken.
There's Uncle Phil. I
came to say hello and to say the legend of Rissman lives.
So I think, Coach, sadly, in regards to these numbers, comparatively speaking, I think the Acolyte did 11 million views in its premiere. I think the sad punchline here is this is performing worse than both the Acolyte and Agatha All Along from a premiere perspective.
Remember though, bro, the Acolyte was white hot those first 2 weeks.
I'm 100% with you, but all I'm saying is think about Agatha All Along, right? This is performing worse than Agatha All Along did.
That's true.
And I think they were really, I know they were banking on the Daredevil name, the fact that they sort of redid it a bit to make it more of a continuation of the Netflix series, which again, I haven't personally seen, although I have to chuckle. There's one thing that you were mentioning very specifically that you didn't enjoy in season 2 that you certainly won't have any problem with in this new series, much to a lot of people's chagrin. And so I'm just evaluating it as a new Marvel series. And I have to tell you honestly, I found it to be a little mediocre, these first 3 episodes. It's not bad, right? I was expecting sort of my socks to be knocked off, right? Just because of this vision I have of the Daredevil character and some of the other things I thought they were going to do in this series, which they may yet do.
Yeah.
But we're now a third through. I think it's got 9 episodes. We're a third through, and for me, it's been a little pokey.
I got you. Anybody else?
So is that 7.5 million views for 2 episodes total?
I think it's whatever. So this is what I'm not sure. You'd have to bring the article back up. I can't remember if it's just the first episode or if it's for the premiere and both
first 5 days of availability.
Did it say which episode, or did it say just its premiere?
It's just the premiere.
Probably for 2 episodes then. Sundowners.
So if it's the first 5 days, it's because they released 2 episodes to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are not good numbers.
No, the numbers are abysmal.
The first episode, not
just
first 2.
Just for the first episode.
The first no. Daredevil, it's 2 episodes.
Okay, yeah.
The first episode of Agatha All Along in a week was 9.3 million.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is not good numbers.
That's really bad, comparing it that way.
Now they have like 16 episodes for the season for this, right?
It's I think it's 9, isn't it 9?
No, I thought I read where it was like 16 or something.
Then it may be 8 and 8 because they decided to make 2 seasons. Daredevil Born Again episode. God, for some reason I thought it was 9.
Where's Venger when you need him? He'd already know that stuff. He'd already posted it in chat.
I think it is 9. I think it's 2 seasons of 9 episodes each, is it not?
You should be able to go to the IMDb and see.
I think, this doesn't tell us much yet about Daredevil as much as it does people have tuned Disney out.
It's 9.
As a platform.
Yeah.
That's what I think it's, until we know more about the show, I think this is about Disney Plus. It's not about Daredevil.
Well, it looks like we're seeing a shift here, boys. We're going to start making fewer movies, and we're going to send Jon Favreau over to start making cartoons. We're going to be the Disney of the late 70s and early 80s again. We're going to focus on cartoons and marginal movies.
And so the comment that Mattuine brings up here is sort of the way I feel as well. But did I think I was watching a legal drama, or did I think I was watching a superhero show? And that's not to say that a superhero show can also be a legal drama. I get that. Right? But I guess I just didn't know what I was getting into, and what I thought I was getting into was one thing. I didn't think it was Law & Order Daredevil. Right? I watch Law & Order. If I want to watch a legal drama, I'll go to the latest episode of Law & Order.
Ding, ding.
Right? And so, and I'm not saying that they're doing a bad legal drama. I'm just saying that in the first 3 episodes, I didn't expect it basically all to be about a court case.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, guys, I'm back.
All right.
When does Disney start licensing out properties to let other companies put it on their platforms and have different creative teams?
I think it's going to be soon.
All right. So here's what everyone has been waiting for. Nick, if you will please read the headline out loud. You ready?
Yeah. Oswald the Lucky Rabbit TV series from Jon Favreau and works it. Isn't that like the original Mickey Mouse?
Yes.
He's doing a show on that?
Yes.
I thought he was taking over Lucasfilm.
No,
see, this is his punishment. He turned down the Lucasfilm job, and they're like, "Oh, fine, you're doing this. You're on contract."
He lost the Civil War. They're making him do a cartoon about a rabbit.
Why?
Nobody knows, Nick. Nobody knows. Well, Jon Favreau must know.
Nick, I got to ask seriously, and in all seriousness, knowing that Jon Favreau is doing an animated show on Oswald the Rabbit, do you give it a 0 by default?
I care nothing. I care nothing about that.
Do you give everything about Oswald the Rabbit a 0 by default because it's Disney? Or if Netflix was doing Oswald the Rabbit, would you give it a chance?
No, I wouldn't give it a chance if anybody was doing it. I care nothing about it. I won't even watch it. Like, out of all the different things he could be doing, this is what he's doing. Like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, what if Pablo Pascal did the voice? Would you be on board then?
Well, in that case, I would check it out.
And I've heard that Rachel Zegler is cast as Oswald's love interest.
And then if they could squeeze Brie Larson in there, and count me in.
Supposedly the villain is Richard Gere's gerbil.
You needed your soundboard there, Coach.
Sorry.
Yeah, I needed the soundboard there for sure.
Sorry.
Oh, geez.
Man, I said the funniest joke one time. Oh yeah, that's it. What did the brown gerbil say to the white gerbil?
No clue.
You must be new here.
Oh,
that's so
I just knew that was
coming. Knew it. Knew it.
I knew it was coming.
T-Pain didn't want to put himself out there with the punchline.
Man, I remembered that, but I was like, it's been so long since I said that. I had to reach back to get that one. All right. So sorry, chat. My bad. Oh, here. Here. There we go. I'm here all night. All right. Speaking of, let's cook this thing. All right. Let's get it going. Giancarlo Esposito thinks there's more road for Moff Gideon in Star Wars.
Every actor thinks their character has more road, except for Harrison Ford in the OT. Who really didn't want to come back for the third film.
He says to Empire Magazine, there's a big movie coming out that's focusing on Mando and the child. I can't say it'll be that, but I hope to be able to join that franchise again because I think there's more road for Moff Gideon. Gideon marks another glorious villain in Esposito's roster of rotters, and it was a part into which he poured plenty of personal stuff. Moff Gideon to me was ultimately that young boy who never had any power, who was always questioning about the color of his skin. Are you white? Are you black? Are you is your hair curly? What are we talking about?
I don't know where this comment comes from.
Who has ever wondered if Moff Gideon was white or black? Who cares?
Don't know.
I like what Brogu said earlier. If your color is not germane to the character, who cares?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's weird. That's a weird. You know what? It seems to me like Mr. Esposito doesn't have a lot to say. So he just
wants the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is it just me, or he obviously gained quite a bit of weight since the Breaking Bad days?
Mm-hmm. I think yes.
I know it's been a while, but he was a super skinny guy, and he's not skinny anymore. You know?
Well, he's gotten older. You know, this happens to us as we get older, Coach.
Yeah, we get paunchy.
It's harder to keep the weight off.
Mine's yeah. This is very true. All right. So let's continue this thing. That was little Moff Gideon. Rissman, please tell us what is going on. Daisy Ridley addresses Kathleen Kennedy's involvement in the next Star Wars movie amid the not true reports about her exit. Daisy Ridley sets the record straight on Kathy Kennedy's Lucasfilm future. Oh my gosh!
So scroll down to the actual quote, and I'll let you all decide if she really said anything straight. Here's the quote down here. She says, "I believe that she's very involved. I think there was reporting that was not true. So yeah, very involved."
What is she talking about?
Does she know?
Didn't Kathy?
She has no idea.
Didn't Kathy even say in the interview that they've been looking for her replacement for a couple years and planning it out?
Yes.
Well, this quote is very specifically about what we have come to call the Rey movie. So her comment here, I believe Daisy's comment here, is about how involved she believes Kathleen Kennedy is still about the Rey movie. And then the next thing they ask her is, well, when did it start filming? And her response was, I don't know.
Poor Daisy Ridley. She's always going to get asked about this movie, and she has nothing to say. She's at the point now where she's been 12 interviews now. 12 interviews have come out over the past few years. And she has basically exhausted all replies. She has nothing left to say.
And she has a couple. This is not even the Cleaner movie. This was another movie she was in. And I think she has every time she's in some other movie, I'm sure they ask her about that too. Although, can you name a movie that Daisy Ridley has been in recently, period? Let alone one that was that did well. I mean, that's not on her, I don't think. It's just the quality of the movies. But every time she's in something, they're going to ask her this question.
They're going to ask her, and it's just a matter of time before Kathleen Kennedy's going, well, we really want to shoot it, but Daisy's so busy. That's what she says about everybody else.
Yeah. And at some point, Kathleen Kennedy's going to fund her own biopic and cast Daisy Ridley as herself. Daisy Kennedy.
Oh my gosh.
Until I see actual filming on set, leaked photos of that movie being actually filmed, I'll never believe that it's actually getting made. I don't know who the audience is. Who likes Rey other than Star Wars Santa?
I know Star Wars Santa would come up.
So when Matt's girlfriend Kathy did that interview on Deadline or wherever she did it, to debunk that she was leaving, and then she said she was leaving, did she mention anywhere in that interview the Daisy Ridley, Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy movie?
Nope.
No.
But she mentioned other directors, Sean Levy.
Every director imaginable.
She mentioned Taika. She mentioned
Taika.
Yeah.
She mentioned them
who hasn't
all.
been in the news of doing anything Star Wars related in forever.
No one has said anything about them because the truth has been now revealed. Disney is racist against Indian folk.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, not only have they not mentioned the movie, but we haven't heard anything out of Obaid-Chinoy since her New Year's Eve stunt. I don't know where she's been hiding. She hasn't even, as far as I know, she hasn't even made a documentary. She's just been gone.
Well, I have a confession
certainly
to
hasn't.
make.
She hasn't been making any of us men uncomfortable in some time. So
No, she's saving it up. She's saving it up.
That is true.
I have a confession to make. I turned her into Tom Homan in ICE, and she's been sent back to Pakistan. So I served my country. Charmaine is out of here. ICE got her. She's gone. They better find a new director. Better call Greta Gerwig.
Yeah, she's in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
But no, like in all seriousness, that interview, she didn't mention anything about Daisy Ridley or Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy at all. And you would think if she was trying to set the narrative, like, hey, we're moving forward, she would have talked about, we have Ahsoka that's going to be filming soon. She didn't say any of that. She just went in defense mode about this report is not true, and then spent the next 20 minutes in the interview saying all the things that made you believe it was true.
Yeah.
Well, and on this point, the interviewer said to her when they were talking about things in production, and they had rattled off a bunch of stuff, the interviewer said, "Did I forget anything?" And I think that's when Kathy brought up Taika, right? But there is some school of thought and presumption that says the Simon Kinberg trilogy, which she did mention, has Rey in it. So there are people, and this could be very likely. There is a school of thought that says that the thing we have been calling the Rey movie has now been absorbed into whatever it is that Simon Kinberg is doing. And so that's why no one is mentioning it. What they say at Celebration about this one way or the other will be a curiosity, because again, it has been now since the last Celebration where the Rey movie was announced. So
I mean, if Ryan Gosling has signed on the dotted line with Sean Levy, then that's the next movie. You know, that's
it's next regardless, right?
Yeah,
it's not. She said it. She said it in that interview. She said Sean Levy's movie is next. It's standalone. It's new characters, maybe some, and she hasn't said anything about Ryan Gosling.
She said something about the next two movies. Neither one of them are Charmaine's.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mandalorian and Grogu, and then, of course, Sean Levy.
And this is what AP World News was telling us. This is what AP World News was telling us back half a year ago. From DVF to Star Wars, filmmaker Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy charts her own path in Hollywood. Is she? Did she?
Did she chart it right out? Right in and out? Was it?
Actually, to be fair, I said a little bit of time ago or whatever. That article was released almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
3 months away from a year. You know, it's not looking good for Charmaine. She probably should have kept her mouth shut in some instances. You know, you've already damaged the brand's so damaged. You don't need directors coming out saying divisive anything. You know, it's funny how these people really, really forget what the word inclusive means. Mm-hmm. It means all of us, not just your group, all of us. And
not to them, coach. Not
exactly.
to them, coach.
Exactly.
Before I left animation, the last studio I worked at, a very small animation studio in Berkeley. Now, you could say, if you met them, you'd say, okay, they're very left-leaning. They're very woke, right? They would, in meetings, they would snap their fingers for clapping. They all put pronouns in their email, bios, all that. However, that was the single best job I had working animation. Why? They actually made me feel like part of the team. Mm-hmm. Even though I was this older white guy, you know, some of the other younger ones, they were all part of BLM. They had like BLM avatars in their Slack channel and all that. However, that company actually was inclusive, and I think they did it right. And so it's, to me, it was like, hey, yeah, you can have these beliefs, these political beliefs, but leave it out at work, which they absolutely 100% did. And that was like the one gig that I went away from that I wasn't like, screw that place, right? I actually was like, they're great people. And I still have a good relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what makes that culture? It's management. It's leadership.
Yep.
The culture is always supported by the leadership and how they choose to enable their staff to interact and just to be individuals and all that. So that's why they always say you don't normally leave a job. You normally leave a boss or the culture or other things that you find to be just so overbearing and distasteful. And so that's great. That's great. Somebody was doing a good job leading.
Yeah, so it is possible to do that. You can be very leaning in your political beliefs, but still understand what inclusivity means. And exactly. I've lived it. I personally lived it. So it is possible.
What year was that? What year was that knee pain when you had that experience?
That
what
was
years are we talking about?
The middle of the pandemic.
Okay.
So 2022, 2020 to 2022.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. All right. So Disney's making some moves on the chessboard. Rissman, why don't you tell us about it?
They listen to me. I'm sure they have.
Is this panic?
So
we're exhausting all resources to make this as successful as possible. We're nervous. We can't just rely on dropping it on Disney Plus and it being gold.
Yeah, I think there is an air of and even Tony Gilroy, there was a live stream earlier today, and even Tony Gilroy kind of danced around this a little bit in regards to trying to attract and catch the biggest possible audience and really wanting to make sure that the investment and everything they did, both from a time and a money standpoint, somebody watches it. So I do think this is one of the marketing plays here was, let's do a few things. Let's put the whole first season of Andor on Hulu. They've never done that, even though I've been saying for ages they should. Right. Let's put the first season of Andor on Hulu for people who are subscribed. Let's put the first 3 episodes on the Disney Plus YouTube channel for free. They've never done anything like that. They put up a 14-minute recap, everything you need to know before you watch season 2. And then today, for the first time, and in my recollection, for a non-celebration event, they led an hour and 15-minute live stream. It was Tony Gilroy. A gal from Screen Rant was the moderator. They brought in Genevieve O'Reilly, Adria Ohona, and Duncan Powell, who played Melshi. And they talked about their experiences in season 1 and sort of recapped their arcs and danced around a few things that are happening in season 2 and took questions from the audience and led what I was very surprised to see was a very successful live stream. Tony said some interesting things. There's one clip here we can play about him commenting on very specifically. She asked him, she said, "Are you nervous? You know, what with what you learned in season 1 and how well it turned out, what do you think about season 2? Are you nervous?" And, you know, he basically said, yeah, we want it to be, we want people to watch it. We want to make sure we've stuck the landing. We feel like we've done the greatest we possibly could. And he said of all the projects he's ever done in his life, these 2 seasons of Andor rank up there as some of the best work he's ever done. And he never would have thought it, you know, 6 years ago when he did this and 10 years ago when he came in to save Rogue One. And so you can play the clip about what he said. It's what you put in the thumbnail.
Ready?
And we can react to it. Yeah.
Nick, are you here?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. You want to hear this?
Yep.
This is hot. This is right off the press.
All right.
Does going to season 2, like, it's different? Like, do you feel like it's senior year, you're more confident, exactly
Yeah, we want it, but we also feel like, oh my God, we better not get confident. We better not be smoking our own shit here. We better really, holy crap, we put the bar down here and we're going to get crushed if we don't deliver. We're going to really, and we've seen, you see all the other shows, where people had trouble sticking the landing and you're like, oh my God, we have to so there's a new pressure.
A lot of pressure.
There's a new pressure, but then there's also, you do have the pride of what you did before, and you have a system that works. So we carried that forward. Yeah.
I don't know, guys. I just heard Tony Gilroy say Star Wars has sucked lately.
He must have watched the Acolyte.
Yeah. The thing is, I think a part of him probably understands that he's going to get destroyed no matter what he does. Because you're not going to please everybody. And I think he probably might even possibly understand that so much of the fan base has jumped ship at this point.
When you say destroyed, are you talk about like by someone? You're not saying by an overwhelming majority of viewers.
Oh, no. I'm saying he's going to get destroyed by somebody, regardless of what he does.
Sure, anybody, yeah.
But it's not going to be like Acolyte level, because for a lot of the people that watched Andor season 1, most people enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of them.
Yeah.
Well, and I just saw somebody mentioning in chat. So one of the things I think it was Zombie Box Reviews. Just to clarify, one of the things they're not doing is they're not going to release Andor season 2 anywhere but Disney Plus. Do I think that's the right answer? I get what they're trying to do. They want those few dollars for the, if I didn't have Disney Plus and I had an interest in Daredevil and I had an interest in Andor, you know what I would do? I would just wait until June. Or middle of May or whatever, right? I'd wait until June. I'd sign up for a month. I'd watch all of Daredevil. I'd watch all of Andor because it'll all have been out by then, and I would cancel.
Yeah.
Right. So it shows you some amount of desperation, I think, in trying to get some interest here. But I also think that whether it's Alan Bergman or the rest of the folks at Disney, I think they really stand behind Tony Gilroy and what he's done here, and they certainly stand behind the $700 million plus that they spent across these 2 seasons of production. And he even mentions it a couple of times in this live stream today. He said, we got to a point, and even in season 1, and we wanted to finish this up, and we wanted to do this. And he said we were out of money, and we didn't know how we were going to do it, and we figured it out. And then he said, and then season 2 came along, and I said, we have to keep up the same quality. And they said, no problem. You've got the money. He said, and so we did it again. And so again, I think nobody wants their career ruined by a stint in Star Wars. And I don't think Tony Gilroy is in that camp. He just wants it to be excellent because that's just the way he operates. And I think from what I know and from what we've heard now, each 3-episode arc of this second season occurs across a few days in the year that it's set. So they've really tightened it up.
That's
good. The first 3 episodes will be over a few days in, I guess it'll be 4 BBY, and then it'll keep going like that. And he said about this release, because someone asked him, they said, well, you're releasing 3 at a time, and what about that? And he said, listen, this is the way we've always intended it. He said, I've always felt like we're making 8 movies here. He said, so the fact that we're releasing it in 3 at a time, he said, is the way I would prefer. And then he said, I know it's tough for podcasters and YouTubers and reviewers because we're putting it out there. And he said, stay up late and watch it. He said, I think it'll be worth it.
I'm looking forward to watching it. I think it's going to have some really awesome moments. K2SO back again. I'm excited about it. I hear that the time frame of it is around when Jen Erso had her first period.
Oh no!
What do you call that? Like a menarche or something like that?
Oh gosh!
Yeah, that's gonna draw everybody in.
I'm kidding about the second part. I'm just being outrageous. But yeah, CS Bangers here with a $10 super chat. Confirmed Tony Gilroy hates the Acolyte.
Any competent person would hate that.
I mean,
show.
look at his face that he made. And he was like, "Oh, I'm actually saying this out loud. I better veer off." And he kind of did a little bit, but he still had to finish his thought. So he got out of there pretty well, but we all know what he was talking about.
He said
it
shows.
Didn't stick the landing. You didn't stick nothing. Not just the landing.
And he said shows, Coach. Maybe he didn't like Ahsoka either.
Yeah, he means Coach. He means every Star Wars show Disney put out.
Book of Boba, Kenobi, Mando season 3. It's all been crap. It's all been crap. And and I'm with Nick. Skeleton Crew, I give it a 5.5 as a non-Star Wars show. I give it a 0 as a Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's coming out of this. He's coming out of this unscathed. I mean, his reputation preceded the Disney acquisition of Lucasfilm, and he was on a boat, I think, in the Mediterranean, and they called him to come fix Rogue One, and he charged him. I can't remember the amount he charged him, but it was an insane amount of money to do it. And so when this is over, I think he just wants to put something out where they say, "Look, this is competent. This is outside of Lucasfilm and all the chaos of Disney. This guy made something that is competent with good writing, whatever you want to make of Disney Plus and Star Wars, and then he's going to go on and do other stuff." I don't see this impacting Tony Gilroy at all.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And speaking of CS Bangers with another big $10 super chat, sad thing is that this is probably the best Star Wars we will see for a long, long time. I can't argue that. I mean, what else has promise? I say nothing. Nothing to me is as promising as Andor season 2 for a Star Wars fan.
And I know folks who have hung on just to watch this and who have already said once this is done, they're out.
I'm done. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'll be honest, I may not even be on board for the episode's launch. I may just wait to see.
You're watching it with us.
I may wait to see how you all talk about it, because if it's not
Don't
good,
worry.
I'm like, I got things to do.
Listen, guys, don't worry. I will take the hit for all of us, and I will sub to Disney Plus so that we can watch the show.
I'm just saying that fence isn't the most comfortable seat I've ever had. It's just it kind of hurts after a while.
Yeah, I'm a little
chafed. Put a pad on there.
Yeah.
Put a pad on the fence.
Yeah, fence riding. Fence riding. Dan Crane, hail to the best show on YouTube.
What's up, Dan?
Thanks, brother Dan. We appreciate that, man. Been a member for 37 months with us.
Hell damn.
Zombie Box Reviews. Pedro Pascal will play one solo.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Thank you very much, Zombie Box. You're hilarious, brother. Dan Crane also sent in a $5 super sticker. Thank you guys so much. This is incredible that you guys are doing all of this. We also want to shout out CS Bangers for the 2 big $10 banging super chats that he just sent in. We appreciate that very much. And then Darth Maul's lower half, member for 14 months, says, and then they announced a $2.99 deal on Disney Plus Hulu. Yes, that is desperation. And we're only a week away from the annual shareholders meeting.
They do it every time. Every single time.
Yep.
Like literally, if anybody in chat goes out there and looks at the Disney investor call dates, you can almost bet on it that like 2-3 months before that call, they will have a deal going on for their streaming services.
Yeah.
Every single time.
and Iger will be on the phone going, everything's fine here, situation normal.
Yep. Look, our subscriber count's up. You know, we're doing really good right now. We just got all these new subs. You know, but honestly, even with the low price, a lot of people just aren't interested. Because I mean, honestly, what is there to watch on there unless you want to watch old stuff?
Well, I mean, it appears that all of Lucasfilm's eggs are in Andor Season 2's basket. But see, the thing is, guys, once Andor Season 2 is over, it's gone.
Yeah.
And you've got Rogue One and you got Andor Season 1 and 2, and that version of Star Wars, you could put it up on a shelf, and we're never getting any more of that. That's it.
Yeah.
We'll never get any more of this era, I don't think, of that moment, that time leading up to the Death Star and the Battle of Yavin and the rebellion and like, this is it. And it's interesting to me that it's the rebellion era that has done the best with Star Wars, with Disney since 2012 and the purchase. It's the era that they've done the least with, and it's performed the best.
Well,
because that's what Star Wars is.
And on this point, if you add up the number of hours of content across the first 2 seasons of Andor and Rogue One, you'd probably end up with somewhere around 24 hours ish worth of content. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of content for this time period. And if you think about the other stuff we've gotten, you know, it's just been spread out all over the place. Now there's been 3 seasons of The Mandalorian, so you've probably got about as much content, at least in the Mandoverse. Of course, you tack on Ahsoka and Book of Boba Fett, it's more. But I mean, for a single character story or surrounding a single character story, Cassian Andor now has almost the most of anything, you know, dedicated to him. And I agree with you. It's the time frame.
Yeah.
I know for Nick, it's still a 0 out of 10. But for me, the Empire versus the Rebellion and the things that led up to the original Star Wars movie are foundationally Star Wars. Yes, I understand the Jedi and the Sith and some of the other things are also very important to the Skywalker saga and the broader story. I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying, for us old farts, right? I mean, the things that we came up thinking about, this is Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It was the rise and fall of the Empire and how the rebellion asserted itself. Yeah. And that's the kind of story Tony likes to tell.
If a lightsaber in the Force did the trick, then the Acolyte would have been the gold standard. It's not. It's awful. I think that Andor Season 2 is capable of giving us many moments where we're like, wow, this feels like Star Wars. It can do that. We'll see. We'll see. I hope that it does. I really do. I'm not one of those burn it to the ground people.
We know.
I am.
We know.
We know that you are, and that's awesome. Yep. Sundowners, burn it down.
I am.
That's perfectly fine.
Burn it.
Riskman and knee pain, balance your hate out. Okay.
I'm definitely dark side.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Nick's dark on both sides.
Black pill.
Yeah, Nick.
Black pill.
Yeah, Nick's dark on both sides and taking black pills. So,
yeah.
It's, my goodness. But every time there's a Star Wars anything coming out, I want it to be good, and I will judge it, as objectively as I can, knowing that I'll never be able to. But that's just This is where I'm at. Zombie Box Reviews. Rode the fence so hard, had to surgically remove it. Ooh. Ouch.
Splinters. Ouch. The splinters are bad.
Yikes. Thank you, Zombie Box. You are on fire tonight. Guys, thank you so much for all of your super chats, and all the member chats. We want to play this video for you just as an appreciation like we used to do. We are, you are, Echo Base Network. Have a little Star Wars video on behalf of the channel. All right, everybody. Well, look, that was a good show. We got 182 people here with us presently. Andor Season 2 going to be coming sometime pretty soon. We'll be watching that and reviewing it. We will make our videos.
Next month, right?
April 22nd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it'll come out earlier, I'm sure, but
Well,
celebration.
and we will be going live. We will be talking about it. We'll give this the full treatment, Nick. Let's do it. We got this.
Yep. 3 episodes each week. Like, that's gonna be a long. That's gonna be.
Is it?
Nick's already hedging his bets,
bro. The Disney Star Wars episodes average about 33 minutes.
It's going to come out at 9:00 Eastern, and Tony has confirmed the 3 episodes together will be movie length. And for him, movie length don't mean 2 hours and 15 ridiculous minutes, right? I think we could probably expect it to net out at about an hour and a half for each 3-hour block.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're going to go live.
And what night is this? Finish, right? Thursday nights?
Tuesday night.
Holy crap. Hang on. So it starts at 8:00 my time. It'll end around 9:30. Yeah. We'll go live for about an hour and compete with WDW Pro. Yeah. And then
you know what you got to do, Coach? You're just going to have to click it and stick it.
Yeah. What?
That's what she said.
Click it and stick it.
Yeah. To the algorithm.
To the algorithm.
Yeah, got it. It took me a second. I was like, what?
You got to be specific there, Risk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's quoting pro.
The rest
guys.
of it was
he's
understood.
Quoting pro. That's funny.
Hey, Nick, are you going to do any kind of breakdown of the Snow White movie, or are you going to see it opening night?
So I am going to see it. I'm gonna, for everybody in chat. Yes, I'm going to see that god awful Snow White movie. But,
when
it comes out.
When is that?
Next weekend.
Next week.
Where are you gonna watch it?
The movie theater right by my house.
I might go.
But I got a hookup, so I'm seeing it for free. One of my buddies in Birmingham knows somebody that works at that theater and is hooking me up with a free ticket, so I don't got to pay for it. Because I was like, I'm not paying to see.
But the ticket still goes back to Disney. You're going to be a statistic, you fence rider.
They're not getting none of my money.
And you being in the theater is just, yes, I said theater. You being in there is just going to make it look like more people are enjoying it. You're just another person in the movie, whatever.
Yeah.
How dare you?
And Nick, did you hear that the vagabonds are actually still in the movie?
Yes, I did hear that. I saw Robert Meyer Burnett's tweet on that. So, and the funny thing is, Fox News not only last night but also today covered this whole thing with Snow White not getting a premiere, showing clips of Rachel Zegler and her comments about, this isn't the Snow White of old, she's not like the damsel in distress.
Well,
and all that stuff.
Weird.
Literally, this thing is, they're doing no premiere. The marketing is very minimal on it because they're not marketing it a whole lot out there. I still haven't even seen a TV commercial for this pilot.
Oh, I have.
Yeah, I still haven't seen. If I have seen one, I just don't remember.
Did they cut the premiere completely out, or they just cut off her interviews with the press?
They scaled it way back.
Yeah, they cut it completely out.
She must be a real idiot for them to say we can't even put her in front of a microphone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because she's the kind of person who doesn't filter. She just says what she thinks, and it's insanity.
I'll be I'll be still very curious to see, because we live in this space where we talk about this stuff all the time, the Zeglers and the bandits and the CGI, but I'll still be curious to see how it does with the family demographic who just knows there's a Snow White movie coming out, who has kids that are into Snow White. They know the story, or at least they think they do. This is gonna do at least as well as Mufasa. I think this is gonna do a lot better in the box office than we think it is.
I agree.
People that don't care about the things that we do that do.
It might do just well enough to avoid them being completely embarrassed.
Yeah. What did Wicked do?
The reason I don't think it will even crack 400 million is because I think a lot of the general going audience knows about all the drama and all the crap behind this movie.
Nick,
and on top of that, they are not even putting this thing out in as many theaters with as many screens.
It's all over my AMC.
So here's what you got to look at. So Barbie was a movie that women took their daughters to, nieces, daughters, girls, and it made what, 1.5 billion. Mm-hmm. Wicked, not as much as Barbie. Wicked, women took their daughters. People took their daughters and girls, nieces, to go see Wicked, and whatever it made. And Snow White, Nick, I just disagree on that. But, I have my brother's 10 years younger than me. He has 3 daughters that are all under the age of 11. They're going to see Snow White. They have no clue about the politics or of the actresses or whatever. And so I think it's going to do roughly what Wicked. It will make over 400 million. Now, whether it makes $1 billion, I think it's going to make enough to have them not lose money. On the project.
There's an appeal there. Our friend Angelina Serini, Coach Nick, Matt, I actually think the Snow White movie looks good. And Angelina, that's awesome. Go watch it and hope you like it.
And from different people I've seen online who've seen the movie, they're not saying it's great. They're not saying it's horrible. They're saying it's okay. It's good. It's mid. I mean, this is part of the reason why I think there's a chance that it does better in the box office than we think it will. Will it be a profitable movie given everything they had to go through? Absolutely not. Yeah. But I think from a box office return standpoint, it's going to be surprising to us.
Yeah.
I just think people hate Rachel Zegler more than they're actually going to hate how this movie is going to turn out.
Probably. I would probably actually agree with that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, CS Bangers with another $10 super chat. I have a special video just for you, brother. I'd rather be knocked out and dragged into the woods, dropped in front of wild bears whilst slathered in honey, and then watch that garbage Snow White trash.
I am 100% there with you, but
and you're going to watch it.
But unfortunately, I gotta watch it to review it on this channel, on DC's channel, and Mr.
You're going to review it on our channel? Bro, we made a video in 3 weeks.
Yeah, but I'm going to be home. Yeah, because I've not been home.
Okay.
We all agree with you, CS Bangser, but we're not the audience. Girls are. In the last year and a half, one thing that's been proven at the box office, even with, we haven't talked about Moana, the Moana movie, the girls are going to the movies with their moms and his family to see movies that cater to girls.
Let's test that. This summer, let's meet in Yellowstone, Bangers. I'll have the laptop. I'll give you the choice. Like, we can watch Snow White right now. There's a grizzly right over there. I've got the honey. Maybe I'll give it a shot.
Over there.
The most entertaining thing that I could possibly think of in my brain, for me personally, everybody won't feel like this. If I could be a fly on the wall and listen to a conversation in a coffee shop for an hour between Rachel Zegler and Nick, I think that would be the most entertaining conversation I could possibly imagine. Because they're complete opposites.
Oh yeah.
It would be oil and water.
Yep.
Well,
and they're going to come out.
And
I was going to say, no, the next stream, Nick's like, I'm in love.
Yeah.
We're getting married.
Coach,
No.
Nick
She's
would
so
come on
nice,
here and be like,
guys.
I love her. I think I'm in love.
Nick would have her like red face screaming, going Karen on him.
Oh yeah, she'd go straight Karen. I actually had one of my good friends that I talked to today, and she's a huge left wing nut job. But I love her to death. We've been friends for a really long time. But she was going on and on about Elon and Trump, and I was just like, you know where I stand on all this, So like I didn't even engage because we're friends. But yeah, Rachel Zegler, yeah, I would totally engage, and she would go full Karen.
Yep. Zombie Box Reviews with a £5 super chat again. Nick, please don't hook up.
I think
shoot. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
well, he was saying hoot because he didn't want to say it on YouTube.
I understand.
Yeah.
Bang bang. The movie theater. This movie is not worth it. Although if you do, I'll happily take your spot on the HCast.
Yeah.
And by the way, Coach, I just noticed what's on KK's head in the PFP. Do you see in Zombie Box's PFP in the upper left? You see what's perched on her head?
A sparrow.
It's a sparrow.
Yeah, I just noticed that right when you said something.
Yeah, he said something about that earlier.
That's funny. I never noticed that.
That is really, really good.
I'm
He said that you were not on the phone with work. You were on the phone with Cameron giving you instructions earlier.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was telling me what to do. Ivan Seiler says, "Why didn't you punch her?" And we were on the phone, so. And I would never hit her. Like outside of political stuff, like me and her are really close friends and get along really well. So we just I just don't engage.
Yep. Well, gentlemen, it has been a great show. We're going to go ahead and wind it down now. Sundowners, you got anything going on at the channel?
Had a video just put out a little while ago on House of the Dragon news, and I have a Warner Brothers Superman and the impact on Warner Brothers coming out tonight. So got some videos coming out.
Oh, Sundowners, when are we getting the next season of House of the Dragon?
They don't finish filming this season until October, so probably.
Oh crap! So it's gonna be next year.
It's probably going to be summer of next year. Okay. But we do get Night of the Seven Kingdoms this year, and I think that's going to be a big departure from typical Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. It's going to be more of a protector story, more insulated, with a little boy and a knight, and with humor. Okay. So no dragons or anything like that. So it only cost $60 million to do the first season of Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So
wow,
I think it's going to be completely different. And that comes out this summer, and then we get House of the Dragon season 3, probably next June, July, somewhere around there. So next summer.
Yeah, and I did just hear that filming has wrapped for One Piece season 2. They're going into post-production, which is going to take probably another year, so it'll be early next year. We'll finally get One Piece season 2, and I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, and I know you guys are going to cover this, Coach. I think you had mentioned it on one of your streams in the past about covering some other content. Yeah. Voltron just finished filming in Australia with Henry Cavill. That just happened.
Yeah.
And so he's taking a month off, and then he goes into Highlander. So
cool. Let's go.
We may be seeing a teaser from Voltron here.
Oh God, I can't.
I am interested in both of those, honestly.
Yeah.
So very good. He'll be excellent as Highlander.
Oh yeah.
Voltron, I'm not sure how that's going to resonate on film, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I was actually looking at a guy making 3D Voltron heads, like a helmet, like kind of like a statue piece to display. Thinking about it. I wouldn't mind having one. All right, Knee Pain, what's going on with you?
Random stuff. I was actually gonna probably do a small stream this afternoon, talk a little bit about the Star Wars Underworld news, but
I skipped right over that.
I know. I had it on the agenda. We went right to Andor.
I literally went right over that. We meant to talk about it.
I just assumed you did it for time. I just assumed you did it for time, Coach.
Yeah, it was a mistake, but we're in it next time on EBN. All right, go ahead, Nipan. Sorry.
Yeah, just there's something that I don't see covered in the articles that I'm going to guess like was related to it, like during the time when I was there, and something I saw. So kind of piecing together the past, the history,
Awesome.
Connecting the dots on past events. Now that some of this is coming out.
Yeah.
So
for those of you who don't know, Rick McCallum got some info out. George Lucas, I believe it was 15 episodes of Star Wars Underworld that they've got the scripts for them. They got a lot of the production notes or pre-production notes. Talking about $40 million an episode was going to be the cost of it back then. Who knows what that would mean in today's economy? Certainly more.
Yeah, probably 50 or 60.
And it's been very heartbreaking for a lot of fans. Like, it's just opening a wound. George almost gave us this, and then Disney purchased it and dropped it.
Yeah, and the game, the 1313 game that looked awesome. Like, so many fans were looking forward to that game.
Well, and I think on that point, Coach, the more crushing thing, according to what was said, is because of it was going to be a very adult, kind of gritty, sort of almost R-rated, very no Jedi, no Sith. There's some parts of it that sound a little bit like Andor, just from an intent standpoint. But the comment that Rick made was, if we had gone ahead with this, Disney would never have purchased Star Wars. Right? Whether that means just because they didn't like that kind of content, or it means that George had in his mind a huge investment in continuing this on and on and on and on. And so there is a part of the whole sale and everything which did actually factor into, and the cost prohibitive part of it, which stopped them from moving forward. So again, this is just another window into what could have been, if the franchise had not been sold.
Yeah.
And there's what I say speculate. Something about Rick McCallum?
Sure.
So I went to Celebration 2 in Indianapolis in 2002, right before Attack of the Clones came out. And it was a really cool event because back in those days, it wasn't like the cons now. You could walk into these breakout rooms and John Knoll and the team would be showing you how they were creating the cloak for Yoda. And you get to kind of have a back and forth with them, Q&A with people that were creating special effects. But Rick McCallum,
more like Icon back then.
Yeah, but it was at the RCA Dome where the Colts played, and it was bigger, but still kind of had a feeling like that. But Rick McCallum was at that celebration, and I watched that guy after the big hall panel they had, where the big room for the audience. I watched that guy probably shake 1,000+ hands of fans, walking around and without anybody around him, and talking to everybody, taking pictures, hugging, shaking hands, and like, I never forgot that. Like, the guy was like, you could tell he loved the fans. Like, he felt like he was an ambassador of George, and spent a lot of time meeting people that he didn't have to do. And these people today certainly don't do it. And I've never forgotten that about Rick McCallum. Like,
he should have been the one who took over Lucasfilm, not Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, he was one of the good guys. I know he's been kind of over in Europe and kind of stayed away.
He won't even talk about Star Wars.
Yeah,
anymore.
But a class act. I never have forgotten. I just wanted to say that for anybody who's familiar with Rick or knows
he's running a production studio in Europe.
Yeah,
doesn't live here. Doesn't really talk Star Wars. Won't get back with people that reach out. He just has no interest.
Can you blame him?
Not at all.
He's done.
Yeah,
he's done.
He is unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess it depends on how you look at it. But he's looked at. He's the scapegoat for a lot of fans.
For the prequels.
But it wasn't Rick McCallum. It was George Lucas.
Yeah.
So
Rick just executed on George's vision. I mean, he was a producer, and what can you criticize about the production of the prequels? I mean, Rick set up the whole thing in Australia. I mean, you can't say anything bad about Rick McCallum. I mean, he was an elite producer.
I agree with you.
Producers are not directors or writers, but people don't really. They just see someone up top in power and like, your fault.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have to blame anybody but George Lucas because everything he did was perfect. Come on, guys. Come on.
And if you remember, there was some of the footage of the documentary stuff. Rick was on the phone trying to close out Ewan McGregor, right? He was closing out some of the casting himself.
Yeah.
Like, just first-class guy. I saw that firsthand and wanted to say that. I never have forgotten that, man. Because those guys don't exist anymore. At least they're not involved with Lucasfilm or Disney, right?
Knee-Pain, as someone who used to work, I was about to say in that industry, but you actually worked in that place. And you don't have to give a personal story, but how do you think George Lucas would respond in the time you worked there to someone walking up and critiquing him and giving some criticism? That probably wouldn't be a very good idea.
No, you'd have to really earn a lot of respect.
Yeah.
Well, everybody said, during the prequels, he was surrounded by yes men, and because nobody would say no to him because they don't want to get fired.
Exactly. Look at the people that
big ones in Hollywood
ran off
like that,
in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
He had a rough relationship. I mean, he's openly talked about it, about how he was basically jealous of the job that his mentor did in The Empire Strikes Back.
Irvin Kershner.
Irvin Kershner, thank you. My gosh, it escaped me.
And he had a falling out with Kurtz too.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
for sure.
What's his name? Dijkstra, the
John Dijkstra.
Yeah, the one who built the computer that did the camera shots for the space battle and stuff.
Yeah, very
Look,
good.
when you're a multi-billionaire, which George was, and you're funding this stuff, people aren't walking in there and saying, "Oh, this is a stupid idea. You can't do that. Why don't you do that?" Like, nobody's doing that. You get fired.
Yeah.
Like, their job was to execute on his vision. That's it.
That is it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is going. Rispin, you got anything going on?
I have absolutely nothing going on, Coach.
Okay, all right.
I'm going to be traveling tomorrow, so no EBN cast tomorrow, guys.
Okay,
right.
Nick's actually traveling.
Yeah.
I'll get a substitute teacher and I'll stay home and I'll do it.
All right.
Psych. Okay. You are Echo Base Network. Thank you all for being here. We still got 150 strong in the house. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys next week, and we'll be getting some regularly scheduled content out again. Oh, that's going to be different.
And
whatever will we talk about?
Yep, and everybody, let's do a channel raid for Matt Cave Gaming, who is live, who just went live. I'll be over there in chat while I'm getting a bunch of
He must be playing
together.
Final Fantasy, because if he wasn't, you wouldn't be doing this.
Yep, he is. But he's back. He's back on Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah, you just control him like a puppet. Okay.
Yeah.
Later, guys. See y'all.
Bye, guys.
Take care, everyone.
Coach and Nick from Echo Base Network, thank you so much for being here with us tonight at Echo Base TV, where community happens.
Nick and Rachel Zegler sitting in a tree.
Fucking
No, Nick, we are a family channel.
Where community happens.
We appreciate all you guys. Thank you very much.